I'm from the city is still. I'm from the city is still. Hey guys, welcome to Picksburgh. My name is Anthony. I really appreciate you being here today. We have some big sports card hobby news today, guys. PSA, that's right, PSA has reopened a service level today, guys. But before we get into that, do me a favor, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. And when we hit 3,000 subscribers, guys, we're bringing back the really awesome slabs or cash program. That means you'll be able to pick between my graded cards or my cold hard cash. All you need to do is be a subscriber to be eligible for that, guys. We're getting super close to that. I would anticipate us being there probably within the next month. So if you have not subscribed yet, guys, make sure you subscribe because I really would love you to be eligible for that, especially if you've been watching the videos. Also, guys, smash that thumbs up button for me. It lets YouTube know that I'm putting out good content and it'll push it out to more people, which would be amazing. But guys, I really want to talk about PSA today. As you guys know, PSA is the king in the sports card grading industry. You know, it's well known that they have the highest resale values of any company on the market today. So what they do is really important because it almost starts a domino effect that affects every other grading company on the market. So today is the day that we've been waiting for since PSA shut down. They said July 1st, they will open back up and they will begin taking more submissions. So since they shut down in March, they've only been taking Super Express, which was $300 per card. So today we have an official update from PSA. So what I'd like to do is share my screen so that you guys can be informed along with me. And we can find out what's happening because I don't know about you guys, but I have hundreds of cards sitting there that I haven't gotten back yet. And your boy would kind of like to have them cards back so that he can, you know, cash out on most of those. I already done lots of money on guys like Sekou Demboya. So, you know, hopefully this backlog will be processed and things will be done in a timely manner. But let's get into this, guys. So this is PSA's website, just psacard.com. So here is the July 2021 update. It says, hello, PSA customers. July 1st is here. That's the date we all been waiting on, guys. Your boy over here has been waiting on July 1st forever. I was hoping I would even start to get cards back by now, but no such luck. It says, as stated on March 30th, we are reintroducing service leveled on a tiered approach. So there was a lot of speculation as to how they were going to go ahead and start reincorporating the service levels. Some people thought that they would just bring most of them back. Well, let's see what they're doing. They said they're going to do a tiered approach. After customer surveying, data analysis, and much consideration, we are going to be even more conservative than we anticipated in March. So they're going to be doing this a lot slower than they had initially anticipated. Today, Express is back at $200. What a deal, guys. You get $100 off of your Express order, but still $200. So I don't know about you, but there ain't too many base prisms or anything I'm finna send in for $200. You know, you can send bulk in to some companies, and for $200, you can send in 20 cards. You know what I mean? So for me, that's a wiser allocation of my funds because the majority of the cards I send in to get graded, essentially I'm trying to flip so that I can get all of the good Steelers and Cavaliers and whatnot that I need for my collection. They're opening it back up, Express, at $200, and it's available on the PSA Online Submission Center. So you can do your $200 Express orders right now. They're available. Our objective with introducing Express at this new price is to manage demand while continuing to allocate the lion's share of our capacity to the existing backlog. And you know what? I like that. I really like that they're making the backlog a priority because if you think about it, guys, there are probably multi-millions of dollars that people have tied up right now in the service that they've paid for. And let's be real, like none of us are getting the service that we paid for. But I mean, it kind of, with grading, it almost kind of just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you'll get the cards when they get around to it. Nothing against PSA specifically, but we're talking about them today. And most grading companies are this way. You send your card and, man, you might get that sucker back in a year nowadays. So let's look at this a little more detail. During the past 3 months, we have devoted 98% of our available capacity to the backlog. So 98% of what they've done since March has been banging out this backlog, which is great because personally, I think in order for them to run the way they need to be successful, they can't have a year's backlog. It's just not something that makes logical sense. So unless they're able to grow in a sense to where they're able to bring more people onto where they're grading more stuff faster, this really is probably the only way they're going to ever get through that backlog. Because if they start opening back up at $25 or whatever it was right before they shut down on March the 30th, I don't know about you guys, but I have a ton of stuff that I would send to PSA like ASAP-ish. So that is more than likely what they're worried about, is we are about to get flooded if we open up at any form of low pricing. So 98% of their workforce has been devoted directly to this backlog, which makes me, as a chunk of that backlog, kind of happy to hear. This demand management, coupled with 64% increase in capacity since the beginning of the year, is a good illustration of the approach we are taking to reduce the backlog. Even with the reintroduction of Express, 90% of our available capacity will be applied to the backlog. So that's awesome, guys. So literally 10% of their workforce is going to be working towards these Super Expresses and Express orders. And so you should be getting those back, hopefully in that turnaround time if you're paying that kind of money. And then the 90% of the company will be out there working to get that backlog cranked out, because there's tons of people just like myself with hundreds or even thousands of cards sitting there right now, just waiting to be graded and slabbed. So it's good to know that they are putting the lion's share of their effort into doing the work that they've already agreed and been paid to do. So that to me shows integrity, which is nice, because I'm somebody sitting here like, man, the cards I have there legitimately are a year's salary. You know what I mean? Like, I can live comfortably for a year based on the stuff that is in their backlog right now. So that's why, to me, it's super important that they do put this kind of effort into the backlog. Because honestly, if the backlog isn't that important, why would I feel comfortable spending $200 to $300 to grade a single card when I already have hundreds to 1,000 cards there that really have not been touched? They've been in limbo for months and months and months. So I like that they're doing this. I also really like their CEO, Nat Turner. You know, he's a collector, so he understands our mind. So I like the direction they're going. And I understand why they're not open fully up. Like, my guess to it would have been like they'd open back up in like the $75 to $100 range. So even this is like literally doubling like my high expectation of where they would reopen service levels at. But I would anticipate, as they continue to bang through this backlog, they will start adding service levels one by one. But I wouldn't expect anything sub $50 anytime soon, maybe ever. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how this works out, because this industry is so nuts that Top Dog and Number 2 are both out of commission because there's too much work to be done. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. So here we go. Receiving backlog, Express, and retail economy are cleared. So they are making progress. Over the last 3 months, they've eliminated the delays in order entry and made great strides in their impacted service levels. They're happy to report that all orders on Express level and retail economy have been completed. Economy will be suspended as we reallocate that capacity to the other service lines. On the receiving front, all new submissions will be entered into the system without delay, which is huge, guys. It's huge that they would be entered without delay, because you could go 2 to 3 months with a box just sitting there unopened. And then your turnaround time that they promise you doesn't start until that box opens. So essentially, you want them to open that box and file that you sent them cards immediately, because then you can actually get your wait time rolling. So that right there is huge. They are going to extend some memberships further, which, I mean, if you're shut down to like almost everything but like something I refuse to pay, I'm going to be kind of ticked if you don't extend what I'm paying for. So he says, I recognize Open Express does little for our collectors club set registry members who are looking to submit lower value cards. Your boy submits Anderson Varejao on the regular. I'm not spending $200 to $300 as much as I am a huge fan of Anderson Varejao, the pride of Brazil. I'm not spending $200 to $300 to grade his cards. So I'm glad that they are recognizing this, because there's a lot of people that will literally grade entire sets. So there's literally random junk wax cards of bum players they don't even care about that they want to have graded to complete a set. You know, so those people are looking to send stuff in, but $200 to $300, that is untangible. There's no way in the world, even Varejao being one of my favorite players, I would spend that kind of money to grade his cards. Our value service is still highly impacted, meaning we cannot accept submissions at these levels. Please note that all Collectors Club memberships will be extended for the duration of the value suspension. That's good. That's really good. So as long as you can't submit cards at a cheap rate, they're going to keep your account full. So that's really nice that they're doing that. The extension ensures existing members have 12 full months to utilize their CC benefits. We're working diligently behind the scenes to offer submission options to our community of collectors as quickly as possible. So there's some other updates and stuff like that that are on here. If you guys want to read that, I will link this in the video description down below. You can go and read the entire thing. So again, let me ask you, what's your play? What are you doing in this market now that the top dog is, in my opinion, still out of play? I'm not spending $200 unless I'm grading something that's a multi-$1,000 card. That's just the way I roll, because that's a lot of meat to give off the bone. For me, I would rather just send it somewhere, you know what I mean, that might get a little bit less ROI, but really in this market, you know what I mean, you can't really grade a whole lot of places and get stuff back fast. So, and with the volatility too, like the volatility of the market as of late, we're seeing, you know, Jordans, Kobe's, LeBron's, like big basketball cards taking dips, like big time dips. Like these cards are skinny dipping. They're losing so much weight over here, guys. But those are part of the reasons that I like the idea of the quick flip mentality. That's why I'll use companies like the SGCs that get cards back to you within a few weeks, or, you know, newer companies, you know, that are just on the market. If they can turn my cards over in a month and I can make money, I'm happy, guys. That's just the way I roll. You know what I mean? And I'm always about those low service levels. If I can get my cards in at an affordable rate, and I'm a bulk submitter all day long, guys. That's what I do, is I find cards that are gradable and I flip them. So that's my plan, you know, to kind of wait and see when PSA drops a little bit lower. I have a ton of cards there right now. Personally, I will not be sending anything else to PSA until they come back in maybe like the sub like 50 to lower category. That's kind of where I'd be comfortable submitting the kind of stuff I deal in, but I deal mainly in low end cards. Like I'll go out and I'll pick up a ton of lower end cards of young rookies, up and coming players, superstars, you know, that might be $5 to $10, maybe even less sometimes. You grade them, they're $20 to $150, somewhere in that range. And when you grade that over, say 100, 200, 300 X amount of times, you know, that becomes a really, really liquid and valuable asset. So those are the type of things I like to do, but grading with something that's expensive really doesn't leave any meat on the bone, which would literally just either make me lose money or run and hustle and do all this stuff for free, which I'm really not in the business of, you know, grinding for free. Appreciate you watching this, guys. Until the next video, may God bless you.